Hello viewers, welcome to Sakshi Post. I am Arpita Ghosh. So today this is a special show and it's an explainer on the controversial Citizenship Amendment Bill. Late on Thursday night, the President of India, Ram Nath Kovind, gave his assent to the controversial Citizenship Amendment Bill, which is also known as the CAB, thus making it an act. A day earlier, 125 lawmakers voted for the bill and 99 against it in the Rajya Sabha. Prior to this, the bill, which was introduced in the Lok Sabha, was passed with a majority of 311 votes as against 80 in the lower house. To begin with, what is the Citizenship Amendment Bill? Now, the law grants citizenship to 6 communities who have fled religious persecution, namely Hindus, Sikhs, Christians, Buddhists, Jains and Parsis from Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh, provided they have resided in India for 6 years and entered India before December 31st, 2014. Now, this means lakhs of immigrants who identify themselves with any of the given religions, even if they do not have the necessary documentation to prove their residency, will be given Indian citizenship. Now, adding to it, any illegal immigrant from Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh from those 6 communities will not be deported or imprisoned even if they do not have the valid documents. Now that I've told you what CAB entails, let us understand what CAB means at an all India level and why people in Assam are protesting against the contentious bill. Now, from an all India perspective, many commentators and opposition leaders have pointed out that the law is discriminatory and hence unconstitutional. It excludes Muslims and hence violates the cardinal principle of the right to equality as enshrined in the Constitution. Now, Article 14 of our Constitution states that the state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or equal protection of the laws within the territory of India and would prohibit discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Now, to address these issues raised by the opposition of Muslims being left out, Home Minister Amit Shah said that Muslims from other countries have the right to apply for Indian citizenship as per the existing rules. Now, as many as 566 Muslims have been given citizenship, he said. Now, this till now is a pan-India perspective and the broader objections to the bill. Now, coming to the state of Assam, why in that state people are protesting? Now, people of Northeast, more so the state of Assam, have vehemently opposed the bill. Now, amid chants and loud sloganeering of CAB Namanu, which means we will not accept CAB, the situation on the ground has turned hostile. At least 2 protesters have died in the city of Guwahati on Thursday as protests have intensified against the bill. Another 11 people were injured with bullet wounds in Guwahati, which remains the epicenter of the demonstrations. Indefinite curfew has been imposed in Guwahati and Dibrugarh, and mobile internet services were suspended for another 48 hours in 10 districts of Assam. In Guwahati, even broadband internet has been suspended for 48 hours. Around 300 protesters have been detained in the state, including activist Akhil Gogoi, who was arrested from Jorhat district last Thursday. Now, speaking of the highly emotive sentiments in the state, the indigenous groups fear that they could be physically and culturally swamped by migrants from the neighboring Bangladesh with whom Assam shares close border. The fight is for Assamese nationalism. Some also fear Bengali hegemony. In fact, Assamese fear about Bengali Hindu immigrants coming to the land is a threat to their culture more than the demography. For this, the natives cite the example in 1836 when the Britishers declared Bengali as the state's official language, although it was overturned 3 decades later, that is 37 years later. While many also point out that they are opposing the bill because it could make Bengalis who have been residing in Assam for decades now more prone to violence in the region. Now, to quell the apprehensions of the indigenous Assamese people, the law states that the amendments will not be applicable to regions in the northeast protected by the inner line permit and the 6th schedule provisions. This includes the whole of Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, most of Nagaland, Meghalaya and Tripura, and certain pockets pockets of Assam. Only 7 out of 33 districts in Assam have been covered under the inner line permit. Now, what is the inner line permit? It is a system which is introduced for border areas. Now, people who are outside the declared areas can visit the places only if they have a permit, but cannot settle even if they have. Since the exemptions did not cover most parts of Assam, people in Assam have started the protest. But it may also be noted that the inner line permit is a deterrent and not a permanent solution. Now, putting things into context, a brief history about the ongoing agitation is a must to put things into perspective. For the uninitiated, Assam has been a region which got stable after decades of unrest and insurgency. When in 1979, people noticed a massive rise in the number of voters in Mongoldoi Lok Sabha bypoll, which they suspected to be for the influx of immigrants. Now, this followed a 6-year-long anti-foreigner violent agitation from the year 1979 to 85, in which 885 people were killed over 6 years. Now, to end this, the centre, which was then headed by Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, signed the Assam Accord in 1985. Now, according to the Assam Accord, anyone who came to Assam before March 24, 1971, irrespective of the religion, would be eligible for Indian citizenship. For other states, it was 1951. CAB now has the cut-off date as 2014. We may also bring the exercise of National Registrar of Citizens, which was a promise in the Assam Accord. However, the final list of NRC, which was published this year, denied citizenship to Hindus and indigenous tribes. Protesters say that CAB will make the process of NRC redundant. Now, this move to amend CAB has been seen by many in Assam to abrogate the Assam Accord by the centre and thus undermine the federal structure that India has. This is all for our show today. For more news and updates, stay tuned to Sakshi Post.